In today's video, we will be going further down my journey into getting my tools and toolbox organized. As I've mentioned in other videos, when I have like repairs that have special tools to do those repairs, I like to put all those tools into a handy little carrying case or a section, and just makes it a little bit easier for when you have to do said repair that you have all the tools that you need. You don't have to go digging through the box for them. And yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at today. This particular tool was inspired by one, if you remember back when I showed you guys how to replace a battery the correct way. I mentioned that I lost my battery terminal cleaner. It never came back. Missing tools for me is like missing persons. You gotta wait 48 hours before you declare someone missing because they might just turn up. I usually wait 2 weeks, and sometimes they come back and sometimes they don't. And that battery terminal cleaner never came back. And recently, I lost my battery terminal puller tool. I just put it in the wrong spot. So the day I found this, like 4 hours before, I bought this here EZRED 7-piece battery maintenance kit. I would call it a battery replacement kit, but I mean, sure. I mean, they made it, so they can call it whatever the hell they want. But yeah, so I was kind of eyeballing one of these for a while just because it's got a couple of tools that I don't have. And again, it's in a nice form factor, a roll-up little bag that I could go and throw into the box there, and it'll be handy for when I need it. So yeah, let's flip the camera down, open this guy up, maybe do a little real world use of the thing, and yeah, let's get into it. Well, this is it, the kit in the package. Not much to see here. We'll explain all this stuff as we go through the thing. The part number or product number, I guess, would be a BMK 1914, and that's about it for that. I haven't quite opened this yet, so I'm going to be as surprised as you guys. It comes in a nice handy dandy carrying case with a little hook and loop, apparently. And it all just kind of rolls out there. Isn't that nice? So, starting from left to right, in the kit there, this is actually a nice roll-up bag. Usually they cheap out on these, but it's actually kind of thick. It might actually last. It's also got two little holes here. I might actually put this on the get some pins and stick that and just kind of hang it from the side of the inside of the van. We'll see what happens. But anyway, back on topic. We have the terminal spreaders. I have an old set that I've had for years. These are Snap-on branded B260A, made in the US&A. These, I'm assuming, are made in Taiwan. And actually, let me look to see if I can figure out who actually makes this or where it's actually made. It actually says it right here. Made in Taiwan. And it also has a 90-day limited warranty for whatever that's worth. Now getting into what we're actually kind of looking at down here. The terminal spreaders. Anyone who's dealt with these this is an aluminum alloy that they're using as opposed to the lead ones, but form factor is basically the same. And after one of these terminals has been on and off a couple of times and you have a gorilla who just over tightens these, they tend to stretch and then they don't fit onto the terminal post that well anymore. So yeah, you kind of need to spread them out. And that's basically where these guys come in. You kind of see the little action that we're going on there, and you just kind of stuff them in the bottom here and give them a good old yoink. If these were lead, it'd be a lot easier. But yeah, spread them out and makes it go on the terminal a little bit easier. This particular one is a 3/0. People ask me what aught means. It's an old-timey word for zero, and I heard it from an old-timey person, and now it's stuck in my brain. Now, moving on. Actually just noticed all these have the EZRED part number on them. I don't know if you can see that or not, which is kind of cool. So if you lose or break one, you can just buy the individual tool, I'm assuming, which is nice. Again, moving on. These are the battery terminal pliers. I mean, they're what pliers do. It's just kind of a general thing. Use it where they apply the best. These are nice, you know, again with the lead style ones. This little square drive over here, they have a tendency to want to spin around, and when you're trying to take this end loose, this is spinning. It's a pain in the butt. Something like this would be a little, you know, kind of a little bit low profile. Get you in there so you can take it loose. And these are also good for the face mounted terminals, which you really don't see much nowadays because, well, I mean, they stink. So you got that. Alright, get that out of the way, and then you get a set of 3 terminal wrenches. I believe this would be the 10mm, little basic ratcheting box wrench. Old school style, not too bad. And you get yourself a, where's the numbers? 5/16. And you get yourself another 5/16. The 5/16, you know, would have been nice if they gave you a 1/2 inch, so you could use it on the old style ones, but I guess these will do. What I'll do is I'll just get a 1/2 inch wrench that I'm not using and stuff it in here, and that way there I got it. But yeah, so you get long handle 5/16, short handle 5/16, and the ever needed 10mm. 10mm, that won't fit on there. It would have to be 12. But yeah, I mean, they got a rather thick insulation on these. Now, everyone knows that you take your negative off before you take off your positive, so that way there you don't arc against it. But there's always a chance that, you know, the terminal's sitting this way. You got your negative here that you're taking off, and then your positive sitting over here, and then you drop the wrench on it and it arcs out. I mean, I think everyone who's done enough batteries has done that at least once. But yeah, I mean, they're kind of thick ratcheting. They're not nothing special aside from the grip on the hand, but it's a little bit of a sticky grip, which isn't bad. So yeah, you get all those. I think I like this one better over here. I think it looks nicer. We'll stick these over here. There you go. Now, moving on to the main reason why I wanted to buy this was the this terminal cleaner, which is exactly like the one that I lost. Very nice. Again, if you have a lead post, you stick this in here upside down, give it a little bit of this action going on in the right direction. It's aluminum, so it's not going to really work that great, but yeah, it cleans up the clamp. You got terminal cleaners on either side here, and then you have the face style terminal cleaner. So you stick this on there and you give it a good scrubbing. It takes the corrosion off the thing. We will leave that out because we're going to want that for the little demonstration. And we got ourselves a battery terminal puller, which is a lot different than my old one. This thing I had to see for years. It is a Cornwell, made in the USA. Awesome. And yeah, we'll demonstrate how to use this thing. This particular one, I didn't even realize was different in a way where you got this little adjusting knob here, and that makes these clamp onto the battery terminal a little bit tighter. So yeah, let me grab a battery, and we'll kind of go through the steps as far as how I would use this thing and see how it works out. Alright, we got the battery up on the bench here. This one I just recently replaced. I got to take it back to the shop for a core. It was replaced in July, and it's a good example of why you should check for parasitic drawl when you replace a battery, even when it's a new one. It wasn't my mistake. That's why I'm talking about it. Yeah, so anyway, basically what you have here was the terminal cleaner. In case you didn't know, this is marked with the minus sign for negative and positive sign for positive. These style batteries, the posts are different sizes. Slightly different, but it's something you should know, especially if you're buying a new terminal for something. This particular one, you can see a P on it. Again, 3/0, just the size of the cable that goes into it. And if it was the neutral side, it would have an N on it. And then they have universal ones where that would be a U, where it's kind of splits the difference between the two of them. So yeah, we have here the negative side, the positive side. We'll put it on the positive side just for the heck of it. You just kind of jam it on there, and if it works like the other one I had, you give it give it a quick twist in a pulling motion, and it just kind of skins the thing and gives you some nice fresh clean lead to work with. And then you would take your positive terminal, which has a Bluetooth wire on it right now, and you stick it on the thing. Oh darn, it's over crimped, and I gotta expand it. So you get your little expander tool here, give it a good oink, and now it sits on. And then you use this for a hammer to make sure everything's nice and tight on there. Now going out of sequence a little bit, to use the tool to actually remove the battery terminal, which would be oddly enough a battery terminal remover. Let's kind of increase the angle of the dangle here so you guys can actually get a better view of what's going on. That'll work. And I'm thinking with this guy, well, first you need to kind of open it up a good bit so it'll fit over it. And then you got this guy here, which opens up the jaws. And I'm kind of thinking you just do something like this. He says with a question mark in his voice. And then you just give it the old twist. And pull it off. Well, check that out. I actually kind of like that. That's not too bad. And like we said before, with this guy, the post cleaner, or the clamp cleaner, we'll say, would go in here. You give it a couple of twists. If it was a lead style, it would be shaving off bits of lead to give you something nice and fresh to stick on your battery terminal. So yeah, that's about it for that. I think I kind of like it. Alright, that is the EZRED BMK 1914 Battery Maintenance Kit. BMK stands for Battery Maintenance. Just figured that out on the fly like that. Yeah, it seems like a decent enough kit. EZRED makes decent enough stuff. I've never been disappointed with any of my purchases from them. I will say, if it were me building this kit, I would have put a 1/2-inch box wrench in the kit, just because that would round out pretty much any battery terminals that you're going to run into. It's not a big deal for me. I didn't buy it for these box wrenches, and I mean, let's be honest, this style box wrenches kind of stink. And yeah, I mean, I will say that a lot of companies and a lot of manufacturers are getting away from this style lead clamp, but in my field, I still run into them fairly often. I still see them in new equipment, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And a 1/2-inch ratcheting box wrench, in my professional and personal opinion, would have been a nice additive instead of having, well, a nice addition instead of having two 5/16 box wrenches. Is that right? 5/16. Make sure I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. Yeah, 5/16. These two guys. So yeah, like I said, not a big deal. I didn't buy it for the wrenches. I bought it to replace my battery terminal cleaner and what I thought was my battery terminal puller, which turned up. And yeah, so I like the thing. I'm gonna add a 1/2-inch, just a regular combination wrench to this kit, so that way there I have this, and yeah, that'll work out just fine for me. The products in the thing, I mean, nice weight to them. I kind of like the spring action with this one as compared to the old Snap-on, which didn't have the spring action. I mean, as far as I could tell, they're basically the same tool, aside from these ones have little rubber grips on it. Pliers, I mean, do you need this style pliers? I would venture to say no, but I mean, they're nice. Got that little low profile thingy in there, kind of a thing, so you kind of use it for a pry bar to kind of hook terminals off that are being a little bit stubborn. But yeah, and again, I mean, this style, I know for automotive, I don't think you ever see these anymore. Ever in automotive, they use that. It's a stamped sheet metal one. It's the same one that Toyota forklifts use on their battery terminals. It's just aluminum stamped. It's kind of cheap. My opinion on those style clamps are, these I can make work. In a pinch, I could get one of these things to do what it needs to do one way or another. Those stamped sheet metal ones, when they're bad, and there ain't much you can do about it, so you better hope you have one to replace it, which, I mean, they're not too hard to go by, but, you know, it's Friday afternoon and you want to get the hell home and You got to do what you got to do sometimes, fellas. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down in the old comment section. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.